And today we have a special guest. Dodgers pitcher Bobby Miller joins the show. Bobby, first of all, just welcome back to Dodgers Nation. And yeah, tell me how things are going right now, my man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you having me. Yeah, everything's been pretty good as of lately. Just trying to just stay focused and locked in on the pitching side and do what I can do, help the team win.
Yeah, and really have buzz right now about you is going to the bullpen and coming out of the pen in a different type of role. Just how has that adjustment gone for you so far? And looks the results are great. I mean, you're seeing scoreless frame after scoreless frame, but just how is it different coming out of the pen versus being a starter?
Oh yeah, it's a lot different, Uh, a lot of it's kind of the same, attack each hitter, stay in attack mode, get strike one, just like you'd want to do as a starter. But just the whole routine has been the biggest adjustment for me. The first few days, it's like, all right, like I mean, still to today, like I'm still trying to find that perfect routine for me throughout the day. Like you throw earlier in the day and then hours later be ready to pitch in the game in any inning. So I think that was the biggest adjustment for me is not having like my normal starter prep before a game. Now I'm throwing earlier in the day and stretch and throw with the guys, and then just hours later, start getting ready again for the game. And yeah, it's a whole different type of routine, but I'm enjoying the process right now, and it's pretty fun in the bullpen with the guys. We got a good group.
Yeah, and the results are just off the charts. I mean, 4 innings, no runs. I mean, the strikeouts, the walks. I mean, everything is looking like it's getting soft contact. Has there been a difference in the plan of attack? I mean, more change-ups, kind of missing barrels, getting quick ground ball outs. I watched your appearance the other day. You get those outs, like 6 pitches. You're like, wow, this is it. And I mean, it seems like it's just much easier for you right now. Has there been a difference in the way you're attacking hitters?
Not really. It's also just a whole different kind of adrenaline when you're running in from the bullpen versus trying to stay calm for 6+ innings in a start. So I think that could be a big reason too. All the high adrenaline you have helps me stay in attack mode. But even as a starter, I was really trying to get that change up, lock back in, and maybe find that other pitch, whether it's the cutter I've been working on. Just really as a reliever, it's like, all right, how am I going to treat lefties? How am I going to treat righties? All right, let's stay in my strengths and just go out there and throw the crap out of the ball for an inning.
Yeah, and you're a guy that came up as a starter. You're a high pick, a top prospect in an organization. Is your goal ultimately to get back to being a starter? And if that does happen eventually, how much do you think this experience will help you long term in getting back to that?
Hey, I'd like to think that what I'm going through right now could help me long term as a starter if the Dodgers were welcoming that to me. Like I think to myself, like what I'm doing right now is like, man, like why couldn't I do this for 6 straight innings like I did a few years ago? Like just stay in attack mode, get strike one, eliminate these walks, But at the end of the day, it's just in this organization, you just got to do whatever helps the team win, and whether that's being a bullpen reliever or a starter or whatever role, I take whatever role I can get with this team. Great organization. You always got a chance to win every year, and you just want to be a part of it and be with the guys and just do whatever you can to help the team win, and no matter what role that is.
Yeah, because that's how I see it. Because I see people out there saying, oh, this is where Bobby Miller is going to thrive as a guy that comes out of the pen, and that's just kind of where it is. I say, wait, no, this guy's still 26 years old. This guy a couple years ago was one of the best rookie starters in baseball. It's about kind of taking what you're learning from this and kind of giving that another shot. That's where I'd be at, right? I mean, just because of the kind of stature you have and the kind of confidence that you have. But I'm curious to see how those conversations went. I mean, did they come to you? Did you come to them? And just how did that process go down of you making that transition, Bobby?
It's kind of a thought for a little bit. I'd go out there like 1 inning of my starts, like, my velo would kind of creep up as the game went on, and I'd have just that 1 inning where it was like, wow, like why can't like how can I do this for six? That's kind of where I've been stuck at this year. Been taking me a little bit to warm up throughout my starts, and I was like, just saying to myself, I was like, I could easily go out there and do that for 3 outs. But how do I keep that mentality for 6 innings? That was kind of the tough part for me this year, and I'm hoping this just helps me reset. Maybe if it's a starter again, maybe it's not. Like I said, I'll do whatever role I can. But yeah, the team just kind of came to me, and which I agreed as well. We got a lot of good starting pitching right now with the Dodgers, so just take whatever role you can get, and don't be upset about it.
And do you kind of just remember what your initial reaction to that was and just how you're feeling?
Um, I didn't react to anything. I didn't think anything too crazy. Just whatever gives me a chance, the best chance at making it back to the Major League Baseball with the Los Angeles Dodgers is just my biggest goal, whatever role that is.
Yeah, and you made a couple starts this year, didn't get the results that you were hoping for, but the talent is off the charts. It always has been. I remember a couple years ago, first Dodgers starter to throw 102 in a game. You mentioned that velocity. Do you think the velocity does trend up when you come out of the pen? I mean, you kind of got me fired up talking about that adrenaline. Just kind of where's your velocity at right now, Bobby?
Yeah, last couple outings, it's been good. Before that, when I first started making the adjustment to the bullpen, I'd say it wasn't like at my high peak. Just kind of getting used to that routine, like I was saying earlier, throwing earlier in the day, and then just kind of having to get warmed up a second time in the day to get ready for that game. I feel like I'm getting more used to it now. The velocity is starting to tick up a little bit each outing. And yeah, like yesterday and 2 days ago, the velocity was a lot better. Reaching triple digits again.
Just got a little off the cuff here. I mean, is the walkout song the same, by the way? Bullpen versus starter? Because I mean, you see some epic walkout songs getting fired up. And put any thought into that?
Oh yeah, I've definitely thought about it. Not really anything that's came to my mind right now, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a walkout song in AAA right now. So but yeah, I've definitely thought about some things, but I haven't really. I don't really have an answer for that yet of what it would be. It'd probably be a little bit different as a reliever versus a starter. Something to get your adrenaline going a little bit more versus as a starter, you kind of gotta stay cool.
Yeah, because I mean, during the trade deadline, you had the Dodgers in rumors with like Johan Duran and Mason Miller, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I mean, Dodgers got a dude like 6'5", throws 100, and just thinking about kind of the songs, I know with your taste in music, like hip hop, rap, it's like you do something that just would make you want to run through a brick wall. Like it's Miller time, you do something just crazy like that. You know what I mean? It's just like it's something to kind of think about for me, just like getting fired up about the possibility of that. But you did mention your goal of getting back to the bigs and helping the Dodgers in any role. You saw last year. I mean, all of a sudden they're down starters. You had guys like Landon Ackman, Kasparius, guys that were kind of new to pitching in the postseason. You kind of look at just that as far as, hey, the mindset has to be, yes, there's a lot of pitchers in this organization, but I've got to be ready if I'm called upon.
Yeah, you always got to be ready, no matter what guy it is in AAA. I think you look at last year. I think we used over 30 pitchers last year. I'm pretty sure, like close to 40. So like you're in the AAA roster as a pitcher. You got to be ready for your name to be called, no matter who you are. A lot of people are going to get a shot. And for me, like already having a taste of the big leagues, a small taste of the postseason. Is just one game, but yeah, I just gotta stay ready every day and put in that work every single day to be ready and hopefully have my name called again. And but yeah, that's the goal is to get back up there and stay there. As I say, like getting up there is a lot harder than staying there.
Yeah, absolutely. So would you say then even this year your goal is to somehow find a way to become a part of that postseason roster, the postseason bullpen in any capacity?
Oh, of course. That's definitely the goal. That's always a goal is to pitch in the postseason with the Los Angeles Dodgers, especially in that stadium. It doesn't get more electric than that with what the fans bring there. It's awesome, man. Just the small taste I had my rookie year, I had all those type of jitters and nerves and everything, and hopefully, I know what to expect a little bit more this time. Um, but yeah, that's definitely the goal all the time.
Yeah, I want to ask you that too, because that has to be definitely something that you have to be mentally tough to deal with. Going in front of 50,000 fans, pitching in front of that, and all the excitement, and then kind of going back down to work your way back up. Just kind of what do you do to make sure that, hey, I'm still pitching at that high level mentally where I'm giving it all I've got as if I'm pitching in front of that sold out Dodger Stadium crowd. Is that something you kind of have to deal with when you're kind of going up and down?
A little bit. I mean, it's more of the mental side than anything. Physically, I know everything's still there. And, the biggest thing I've been working on this year is the mental side of the game. That's so much more powerful than the physical side of the game. When you're not going through struggles or anything, you don't really realize that everything's going good. It's easy to stay strong mentally. When you're going through a lot of struggles, the mental part gets really tough on you. And you just got to talk to the right people. And I'd like to believe, like, once I even those out and make the brain a little bit stronger, you know, it the sky's the limit for anybody. Um, but yeah, that's the biggest part, especially as a rookie going up in the postseason, had all those nerves, even my debut and even my first time coming out of the bullpen in the major leagues, I felt like I was making my debut again. It was
Yeah.
adrenaline that I've never felt before running out of that bullpen in New York, but it was pretty awesome that feeling that you're not going to get a lot.
Yeah, and I still remember your debut against the Braves on the road against that Pone lineup, those 5 strikeouts and just like the fire emotion that you're showing on the mound. You're sweating, it's hot Atlanta, right? And you're just going out and it's like, wow, this guy, he's the real deal. And you mentioned that the mental breakthroughs that you made. And I kind of get that sense too that, hey, you get more experience in the toughest sport really to have success in, and that is Major League Baseball. What has been the biggest key for you to just kind of take those leaps mentally?
Uh, Biggest thing for me is just kind of realizing everyone goes through it, even though I found myself, even recently, when stuff is going good, you kind of just still like can't stop thinking about the negatives. Oh, well, like, well, he still barreled this pitch, even though I got the out, but it's like, oh well, like you just got through a 1, 2, 3 inning, and that wasn't your best stuff. Like imagine like what it could have been if you had your best stuff that inning, just kind of getting rid of those negative thoughts and you just got to take the good days and roll with it.
Yeah, and Dave Roberts said after you made the move to the pen this year, I think that this might be something that unlocks him. Just what do you think when you hear your manager say things like that, and just how supportive has this organization been for you?
Oh, it's unreal. The stuff behind like closed doors with how much support, the front office, Doc, and the mental side of the coaches, our strong mind coaches, the support is unreal. You got all the resources here. So it's really hard to make any excuses when you're going out there. You can't ever say that they didn't have your back. Especially Doc, like he's such like a great coach, like outside of baseball as well. Like gets to know you as a person. He's the front office as well. They're great, and the resources are always there. The support's always there. So I'm very thankful for that, and hope to be here for a long time.
So, what has kind of overall been their message from you, whether it be Friedman, Gomes, the baseball development staff, Dave? Is it just kind of like one consistent message, and kind of what is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of it like comes through our pitching coach here in AAA. Obviously they'll relay a lot of stuff. Um, but it's kind of just go out there and be you, like have that attitude to you. Like you're a reliever now. Might not be forever, but right now you're a reliever. Have that attitude that you always had out there. Like keep that fire to you. It's a lot different as a starter. It's hard to keep that fiery attitude every inning as a starter. You kind of gotta stay calm through 6 innings, and that's something that I would have trouble with as a starter. But yeah, kind of keep that attitude. Be that guy you've always been, and just go and throw the crap out of the ball for an inning, throw strikes, attack each hitter for 1 inning. And if it's got to be 2, 3, so be it. I'll do it. Whatever they need, but just go out there and be yourself for an inning.
Yeah, and I was talking to someone, they were saying, hey, Bobby Miller, when it comes to just pure overall raw talent, he really takes a backseat to no one. It just find that eureka moment that just takes him over the top and then disguise the limit. Do you think that there is a eureka moment for you that you kind of found? And if so, kind of what is it?
Um, Not really as of right now. I think that like just the switch to the as a reliever right now has really boosted my confidence a little bit, or a lot actually. Just finally finding some consistent success, has really been building on me mentally, and the confidence has been going higher and higher. And if I have a bad outing or something, I feel like I know how to handle it a little better now, and I still have room for improvement for that, but that's something I'm working on every day.
Yeah, and have you kind of given yourself the opportunity to kind of think about other guys that have been on these paths? I mean, Michael Kopech is a perfect example of someone that starter goes to a reliever and then last year explodes throwing 102. Probably the best example here for the Dodgers, Eric Gagne back in the day, starter becomes one of the best closers ever. You ever kind of just think about that? And you ever thought about having some conversations with Michael Kopech about just transitioning, even if it is temporary?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a little bit, obviously, but if I make it back up there with the team, I'll definitely reach out to him. And even when Trinan was here rehabbing, he was here for me as well. He was there from when my first day transitioning to the bullpen and Reno, Nevada. He was one of the first guys to come up to me and reach out and say like, if you need anything or need any help, I'm here for you. And that was really nice to hear. Is he's a great teammate and great person. So like I always have the guys to reach out to. Anyone in that bullpen up there, would be probably more than welcome to help out. There's a lot of guys and some really good veterans to look up to up there and learn from.
Yeah, that's great stuff. We're here with Bobby Miller here on Dodgers Dugout Live at Dodgers Nation. A couple more, and we'll get a shift to some quick stuff here. One thing I really want to ask you, Bobby, and this is just something that I've been curious about for a long time. So Dustin May gets traded to the Red Sox, and he says that like he was pushed out, but he didn't mean anything negative towards the front office. Just meant like there's so much talent in this organization, and the way their starters were looking and the bullpen was looking, that hey, he wouldn't have an opportunity to possibly be a starting pitcher somewhere else. For someone like yourself, so much talent, and then you're with the Dodgers that they acquired talent through free agency, through trades, things like that, veteran pitchers. What's the biggest key to kind of maintain the mindset where you don't allow yourself to think, oh, I could be starting with another team no matter what right now, but instead I'm doing this and I'm working my way back in this highly competitive organization that has a ton of depth. Just kind of what is the key to that? Is that kind of something that crosses your mind when you're in this organization, when other organizations don't have anywhere close to this level of talent?
I'd say like years ago, plenty of years ago, that thought was in the back of my mind, like scared, like, oh, I don't want to get traded from Los Angeles. I don't want to leave the Dodgers. It's kind of just for me at least, like that's not really a mindset I can have. You just got to go and focus on pitching and getting outs. And as you've seen, like in the game of baseball, the top talent guys, some of the best players in baseball have been traded. It's just kind of how the game goes. Unfortunately, it's a business. It's out of your control. So the best thing you can do is just go out there and pitch, and just try to give the team a chance to win every time you're out there is really really the best you can do out there.
Yeah, that's the attitude to have for sure. And I did want to get a thought on you about Shohei Otani, because a lot of the hardcore Dodgers fans have known about you for a long time. And some of the more casual ones, you came on their radar after you struck him out there during the end of the spring training that season. Like, oh, Bobby Miller strikes out Shohei Otani, and you have that connection there. And then he goes to the Dodgers and he's pitching again, and he's lights out. I mean, 4 innings, 8 strikeouts, 14 whiffs, hits a 440-foot bomb. Bobby, I mean, you're a dude who can throw triple digits, but just how do you make sense of that? And for someone that's at your level, it's one thing for like fans and writers, journalists to think about it, but from a player's perspective, what's it like to just witness that and just be a part of that?
It's insane. I'm still dying to see him pitch in person again. The one time I've seen him pitch in person was against us in Anaheim. I think that was
Yeah,
shortly
12 strikeout game,
before
right?
he had the Tommy John surgery again. But it's absolutely insane seeing what he's doing on the mound right now, especially just coming off of Tommy John and rehabbing. It almost feels like he's getting better on the mound, which is insane. He's going out there and throwing 100 plus miles per hour, and then going and hit a ball 110 plus off the bat. It's crazy. It's something this game has never seen before, and I don't think it'll ever be repeated again.
Yeah, it's just incredible to watch. By the way, how were you as a hitter? I mean, if pitchers still hit, you could probably run into at least a couple throughout your career, right, Bobby?
I had some juice, but yeah, I mean, looking at big league pitching now, yeah, it'd be really tough. But I mean, maybe if I kept hitting throughout college, you never know. But it's a pretty rare thing to do. Yeah, it's pretty hard, especially to maybe you can run into some college pitchers here and there, but this the big league pitching is absurd. I think it'd be very hard and taxing on my body trying to be a hitter and a pitcher at the same time, especially since I'm a left-handed hitter. You're kind of rotating two different ways. I think that'd be a little taxing on me, but Show goes out and does it every year, and yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Hey,
He's
we saw Kirsch get one against the Giants. I think Bobby Miller could get one. I'm just saying, okay? But we're gonna
Kirsch
get you.
was a good hitter, man. Really good hitter.
No, he actually honestly was. I miss watching him hit, to be honest. But I miss watching Zach Greinke hit and Rich Hill and those guys. But all right, Bobby, we're gonna get you on some quick ones here on the way out. We get to know the real Bobby Miller, some Bobby's World right here. First thing I want to ask you is, what's your favorite pregame hype music? Who are you listening to? What artists? I know you get hype with it. A lot of fans love your warm-up songs, but what is Bobby Miller listening to before games?
Oh, I mean, I listen to a lot of different stuff. I mean, Future, I've always liked a lot. Nas here and there. Gunna. Um, and then here and there, I'll throw in some rock as well, which probably nobody knows about me, but
Yeah, hey man, you got to
yeah,
mix it up,
I'll
man.
throw some of that in there as well.
I
I
love
got a
it.
whole different playlist for that.
I love it. Hey, mix it up, man. We respect that. Okay. Who was your favorite player growing up?
Favorite player growing up? Pitcher was Kirsch, and just overall player Bryce Harper.
Favorite baseball movie?
Favorite baseball movie? Um, I mean, there's a decent amount of them that I like. Probably Moneyball.
Moneyball. How about favorite movie ever?
Yeah.
Just like in general. Did anything come to mind?
Oh, I'm a big fan of Star Wars series, like all of those. That's probably my favorite series.
Nice. Just all of them, man. Empire Strikes Back goes super hard. Okay.
Yeah.
Dodgers City Connect uniforms. What do you rate them on a scale of 1 to 10? They've grown on a lot of Dodgers fans.
Yeah, they've grown on me for sure. When I first saw them, I didn't really know what to think, but they've grown on me for sure. I've never got to pitch in them yet, so that's might be a little bit of a different opinion if I have, but uh I'd probably give it a 7.5 or 8.
7.5 or 8. Okay, we know you're a big sneaker guy. What's your favorite sneaker of all time? It can be a model. It can be a specific version of that model. We always see you rocking the Fly Kicks, Travis Scott, Jordan 1s, things like that. But what is your favorite sneaker?
Sneakers, I like Jordan 4s and 3s a lot. Threes have been, yeah, I probably 3s.
It's tough.
I do like the UNC blue ones.
Super hard, super hard. Okay. Yeah. If you weren't a baseball player, what would you be doing? And before you answer that, I did read somewhere, I think it was like a local report on you that said that you were an ice cream man one summer. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, that was in high school. Yeah. I did it for one summer. Just to try to make some easy cash. But yeah, it's definitely not what I'd be doing.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm just curious. I was like, is that
honestly,
even true? You know,
I do play a lot of video games, so maybe streaming on there. I'd probably try to give it a go on there if I wasn't playing baseball and see if I can make it on there.
So maybe is where the Bobby Ice nickname came from. I don't know, possibly there. By the way, do you have, because I noticed too, just being in the clubhouse, there's like players' nicknames, and then there's the real nicknames. Like no one calls Teo Mr. Seeds, right? But like the players call each other something. Like I noticed they call Michael Kopech Kopi, right? And things like that. Is there a player nickname for you that your teammates call you?
No, people usually just say Bob. That's pretty much it.
There we go. See, that's what I'm talking
People
about.
just kind of say Bob. Yeah, that's pretty much
Like
it.
if I introduce you as Bob Miller, wouldn't it sound right? But if a player does it, it makes sense.
Yeah. My dad goes by Bob, but yeah, I just go by Bobby, and then teammates, a lot of guys will just say Bob or Bobby.
Awesome. Okay, so you're in a bar fight, and you can pick two of your Dodgers teammates to have your back. Who you going with?
Oh yeah, I saw this video Dodgers posted. One guy that I don't think was said, sleeper for me that I would pick with the Dodgers would probably be Anthony Banda. He's actually got that edge to him. Him and Kopech.
And Kopech. Wow. Yeah. I've been asking
those two
Dodgers
guys
players
for me.
this. I've been asking Dodgers players this for like a while now. And it's like almost all the answers. When I asked Will Smith, it was Joe Kelly, Brusdar Gratterall. When I asked Freddie Freeman, it was Tanner Scott, Brusdar Gratterall. It's like Brusdar Gratterall is like the most common answer. So finally we get someone that's not a Brusdar Gratterall, but he's a guy you wouldn't want to mess with.
If Joe Kelly was there right now, he'd for sure be number one.
Yeah.
100%.
And he could come back. Okay. Which of your teammates, this is a fan question, by the way, which of your teammates has the most aura?
Oh, the most aura. Oh. Like in the big leagues or AAA?
A big name. You can do both, really. I mean, whatever comes to mind.
I'd say in the show definitely Mookie for sure.
Yeah,
that's an easy one.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Okay, so if I took 100 pitches against you, could I make contact once? Could I even put it in play? My baseball background is I won most improved player on JV baseball for Sal Pass, hit like 260 that year. That was the peak of my baseball career. But could a normal human being even make contact in 100 pitches against you?
100 pitches, I'd say someone's making contact, whether it's either just foul tipping a ball or even putting it in play or attempting a bunt. Like, I think someone's like realistically, you get 100 chances. I mean, you're probably making very slight contact once, I'd say. I mean, yeah.
I'll take it, man. That'd be like the biggest moment of my baseball career. That'd be awesome. Okay. Your Mount Rushmore of pitchers all time, Bobby.
Okay. Kirsch up there for sure. Pedro. How many is that again?
So you got two more to go. You got Kirsch, you got Pedro.
Kirsch, Pedro.
Two Dodgers legends, by the way.
Yeah. Randy for me. And probably Nolan.
Wow. That's like, you absolutely cooked on that. That's like an all-time list. Okay, last question I have for you.
Those are some of my favorites.
That's insane. I mean, Nolan Ryan, I just don't understand how that dude threw that hard that long, got that many strikeouts, and never got injured. Like, what was in that guy's elbow?
I don't get it. There's a saying, they don't make them like they used to, so.
That definitely applies to Nolan Ryan for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, last question for you, Bobby. What is the best piece of baseball advice that you've ever received?
There's been a lot. I mean, it is like an easy one is like trust the process, or I mean, that kind of goes a long way. Whether that's like a big mental part for me is just trusting the process, try not to get too caught up in the moment. I'd say probably the biggest thing, probably just be where your feet are. That's the best part, especially in the game of baseball. You got 162 games a year. If you just got to be where your feet are. If you're not, like, you're probably not going to have a lot of success. If you want to go win the World Series, like, you got to win that day first, win day by day. That's the thing for me, is just be where your feet are.
That's great stuff. Actually, I'm gonna sneak one more in here. Are your Bears gonna do something this year? I mean, Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams. I'm buying what the Bears are selling. I mean, how excited are you about the Bears? New coach, Caleb, Colton Loveland. I mean, all this talent. I mean, give me your take on the Bears heading into the season. I know you're a big Bears fan, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting a better year for sure. I don't know how long we'll go. I mean, if you look at the schedule, it's a really tough schedule. So, I try not to throw any crazy takes out there. But, I'm really liking the moves that we made, especially the offensive line. That was kind of a big struggle for us for plenty of years. We picked up a lot of good stud O linemen, and obviously the offensive minded Ben Johnson, and he brought in a whole new crew as well. So I'm pretty excited. This is probably the most excited I've been as a Bears fan. I mean, I've been saying that a lot for like the past 3-4 years. All right, it's gonna be better. It's gonna be better. But I mean, I think we got the right guys right now.
Ben Johnson, that offense, those weapons. I think it's gonna be big. I think they need to invite you to a game and go chill out on the sideline with your Bears. It'd be cool rocking all the gear like that.
Off season, I'm going to some for sure.
That is awesome, man. Well, Bobby, we really appreciate the time. We're so happy about the success you're having right now. We hope you finish the year strong. We hope to see you soon back in the show helping this team. But congrats on all your recent success, and we'll catch up with you soon, my man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.